We got to get Zay on the count. Zay got some shit to say today.
Yeah.
You gonna say some shit today.
You fucking better. You got a microphone. Welcome, everybody, to episode 77, right?
77.
77 of the Rap K Podcast. Damn, I'm good. I am Chris Platte, a.k.a. Platte Pod, with a few of my near and dear friends. I got Bryce flying everywhere nice. That's why he hasn't been here recently. Shout out to Bryce. I got Zay. And I got Big AP on the ones and twos.
Come on, man. You know, the constant. We in
the constant. Listen, man. This wasn't a week for music drops, so we're just going to get into a bunch of other things that happened because this week's music drop, like, unless you really care about the Ice Cube album, which I listened to, wasn't bad. But
also, you know, I'm going to give a big shout out to Four Bats. His album or mixtape.
I didn't hear that yet.
Wasn't it? You know what? And I'm not
a hater though, so
I'm not. I want to say something, and it's gonna sound like I'm making fun of him, and I really don't mean to. But you guys know the Chipmunks, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Alvin and
the
gang?
Alvin and the gang.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the hip hop version of if someone took Brent Faiyaz and kind of chipmunked it a little bit. So and I mean that in the best way possible. The album to me actually is very coherent. Pretty much every track into the end I kind of rock with and I could vibe with, but it definitely gave me that Brent Faiyaz feeling just with his voice.
So where does Tommy Richmond fall on that scale?
I mean, I hope he saved that $1 million because that baby ain't getting any more right now.
Yeah, no shit.
Hey,
yeah, I don't know.
I gave him a lot of credit for that debut album just because he left his big singles off of it and he tried to do something totally left, and I was like, oh,
it was
like
good.
you're a real artist.
It wasn't bad.
It was very
wasn't
sonically
terrible.
appealing. It's just the fact that he needs to.
But then it got no motion.
He got no motion, and then
he
also
went right back to the bullshit.
And this is something we talked about earlier. People, can I just make this one quick PSA? And I know we're saying this on a podcast, but it is so easy to just shut the fuck up. Mm-hmm. And so many people, sometimes when they think they're just going to release their first thing that comes to their mind, can realize one thing. You don't have to put it all out there. You don't have to tweet every first thing that comes to your head or jump on your video of recording yourself and do it. Think about some stuff. Or if you're not capable of that, shut the fuck up. I'm Bryce Moss, and I approve this message.
You know, it's not even just released, too. He also had the biggest shut the fuck up moment of, I'm not a hip-hop artist. Mm-hmm. So that's a shut the fuck up. And also, he's been, like, caught. The thing that you have to keep in mind when it comes to artists these days is that you're on camera damn near all the time at this point with the way that streaming and everything works. And he's just been caught kind of looking like a dickhead. And that will sway public opinion very easily in today's.
And it's hard because he blew up. If we had heard of him solely under the umbrella of Brent Faiyaz, I think he would have just a fine, solid thing. But because that song blew up and it hit like number 2 on the Billboard and it became a TikTok thing, and you had, you know, people from the burbs who also knew it as well as like people who would listen to that type of music, they're then waiting for his next big hit, which really didn't come, as opposed to this album, which sonically fit more of what we heard from him before and was really good.
Yeah, I think he's
Tennessee's a dope song off that album.
Yeah. What was my?
There's a couple cool songs on it.
Mm-hmm.
It was not by any means the worst album.
The one, "Count Me Out," but it's not. But that's not the name of the song. It's just part of the hook. I can't remember. Letterman, I really like too. Yeah. No.
Intro was cool. I like the intro a lot.
Yeah. No. There was some cool joints on that, but 42 Doug created conversation, and I wish there's 2 people that are normally on this podcast that aren't, that I would love their opinion on it. Mm-hmm. But it's still a great thing. 42 Doug tweeted out about the idea of people really think Pusha T is better than Jeezy. Where do you guys stand on that conversation?
Are we really about to discuss that? Are we really about to discuss this right now?
Jump out the window then.
Seriously.
Where's it at?
No, I'm not gonna start. Go ahead, bro. Y'all know my answer, bro. Come on now.
No, I
that's why I'm going to you first.
Come on now, bro. we really about? Jeezy is better than Pusha T.
So in your mind, it's not even close.
It doesn't even sound right.
Yeah.
It
Why?
doesn't even sound. Cause what? Like, oh my god, why? Like, what? Why would you explain that?
Well, this is also and not to say that we're not pushing the same narrative, but putting two artists that have no business being in the same conversation up against each other, that's kind of
Like exactly.
But
Like
we're also
like
doing
two
that with
different
our
types of
verses
music
and stuff.
sounds.
That's the fun. That's kind of the fun thing is like kind of comparing apples to oranges. I
Who even brought this discussion up? Who said like,
Do
oh,
I
you know, it would be a fire versus Jeezy and Pusha T, the most
42
different
Doug.
sounding, like the most different sounding people ever. 42 Doug, who the fuck is 42 Doug, bro?
He about to have his Ace Hood moment.
Let me stop.
He's having his Ace Hood moment. Let's
stop.
go.
By the way, we are located at.
Let me stop.
I'll say as my piece on that. Do I think by technicality Pusha T is the better rapper? Yeah, but I think Jeezy's legacy is a lot stronger at the end of the day.
Jeezy had an amazing run. I'm not
Yeah,
just counting
and Jeezy's essentially the fucking godfather of trap music in general. Like,
that. I am not
Which
just
one you
counting that.
picking?
as a better rapper, I'm saying Pusha T.
Or
but
just your answer? However you object.
I would
However
say-
you decide.
I think Pusha T is the better bar for bar rapper, but I think that Jeezy has made more monumental music and has held a bigger stake over the years.
Don't make
That's
Pusha
my-
T get in the archives.
So
and be
does
like, I
that
got
mean
some
you're
dirt on him,
taking
too.
Pusha T though, or does that mean
Let me
Are we
see.
talking
like head to head?
about-
Because
Are we talking about who's a better rapper?
Nigga looking through the files like
I'm
this,
just saying
like,
in
yeah,
your mind.
Jeezy, yup.
in your mind,
In my mind,
gotta
in your
I'm
mind,
listening
if you have to pick
I'm
one,
listening to Pusha T first.
okay.
Oh man. Oh, that's funny.
Bryce, everywhere nice.
So, I mean, I'm gonna be being objective here. I've been a huge Pusha T fan. I'm a huge Jeezy fan
The
too.
shirt.
I mean, right now I did go to the Pusha
Fair.
T concert, the Clips concert. Literally, what was that? 3 days ago? So 2 days ago,
How was it?
bro. The concert was one of those life affirming concerts. Shout out to Clips. They played not everything off the new album. They played some old school. I mean, we heard Chinese New Year, Keys Open Doors. We of course got Grinding.
He's open.
It was life affirming, and I will tell you this much.
God, grinding.
And-
Do you know grinding is a lunch table staple? Are you fucking kidding me?
Everybody took a pencil and a fist
Yes.
and made that.
Why are we talking about this, bro? Move on. Next topic.
All right. Well, we're a hip hop podcast. So we discuss hip hop.
I'll just finish up with this. The concert was amazing. One thing I will tell you though, being as close as I was, thankfully, when Pusha T raps, you see, and I was close, but I know people behind me were talking about it too, like rows back. You see the whites of that man's eyes when he's rapping about somebody. You see that man stare into the soul.
That's full-blown hatred right there.
That is when you
That's
talk
real
about
hater shit.
you died in front of me, you cried in front of me, Calabasas took your bitch and your pride in front of me. When he rapped
Me.
that, when he rapped that, the eyes got big, and I was like, I know that people talk about, oh, he always tries to drum up some stuff for a press run. Yo, he means every word that he is rapping to the point where I also took a picture. I showed them of Malice. Malice in the background was just like,
God damn. Yeah, exactly. No, I could imagine. The only thing I wanted to add was I'm glad they have Mama I'm So Sorry on the track list. I love that song so much.
Yes.
It's one of my favorite Clip songs.
definitely on the set list. It was a great concert. It was a great retrospective of the two of them together. Yeah. I think that they did that so well.
Did they do Birds Don't Sing?
They did a little bit of it.
Okay, yeah. Because I think that, yeah.
great song. I love that song.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal.
Fantastic.
That I haven't. God bless. I haven't lost either parent, but like that really, really hits. Like that connects to another close death in my life, like my grandpa. Like they did such a masterful job of playing that song and stringing the emotions. And look, I'm here to say this. Like I'm speaking my truth. And what did you expect 42 Doug to say?
Nothing. Just keep his mouth shut and put the music out.
No, what did you expect 42 Doug to say? Who is more
based off the
connected
type of artist that he
outside
is,
of
yeah.
who is more connected to Detroit outside of Detroit than Young Jeezy?
Right.
Young
But-
Jeezy has been absolutely influential in Detroit
Yes, but in political times like these, I'm reminded of the great comedian Dave Chappelle when he famously said, "Who gives a fuck what Ja Rule thinks at a time like this?"
Which is pretty funny.
The Jeezy ain't Ja Rule.
And I'm going to take it back to another famous poet that I like to reference every now and then, the incredible Bam, our Bryce on this podcast. Yeah. Who the fuck cares what Ace Hood thinks at a time like this? I don't care about what debate you starting that makes no sense. Hey, who's better, Madonna or Billy Joel? Like, what are we doing?
I don't give a fuck who started the conversation. To me, I'm just pointing it out there because, like, what did you think that I guarantee if you pull any Detroit artist, I think there's probably less than 5 that say that Pusha T is better than Jeezy, just because of how tied Jeezy is to Detroit.
But also,
however, my opinion in it isn't aligned with Detroit. Like, I'm like Jeezy, the moments that he's had, and I get it with Pusha T. You can point to the moments with you can point to his incredible discography. You can point to all of that, but the one thing that Jeezy has that Pusha T never, ever has, and if any of you disagree, you guys can point that timeline. There was a real 2 to 3 year period where Jeezy was mentioned as arguably the best rapper in hip hop, and that height Pusha T has not yet reached. And I don't think he ever will, because I think
it's his intention either.
Yeah, and I think he's
what
really
makes
great.
Jeezy the better rapper though?
That's not the case.
No. Let's answer that question for me. What makes Jeezy the better rapper? Tell me.
Are we talking about better rapper? Or are we talking about legacy?
I'm talking
about
about
he's talking about streaming and Shazam numbers.
I'm talking about strictly when was Pusha T ever mentioned as a top 3 rapper in the game?
I don't give a shit. I just want to know what makes Jeezy better than Pusha T.
And I will say this much. The only time that and I know where you're coming from. You're talking about like back in the days of
everyone was going to Jeezy.
Well, yeah.
Kanye was.
You're talking about those days.
Fortunate enough to get a Jeezy ad lib.
You were talking about
that's how fucking popular he was.
Well, actually, there's a whole story behind that.
I know,
but where he basically just stole Jeezy's song. But that being said, you're talking about like when MTV used to do like the hottest MCs every year, that type of thing, where Jeezy was definitely going to be placed, and Pusha T during that stretch obviously was never on that list because Pusha T was doing different stuff. I would argue though that Pusha T was definitely on one of those final lists, on those top 10s, top 5s during the course of the album of the motherfucking year, Daytona. The buzz behind that, and then the story of Adidon.
Okay. But okay.
No, he didn't go.
I don't disagree with you, but
that's when he went to at least top 3.
Hear me out. What was the conversation that year with Push, that he had one of the best years, or that he was one of them once? Because I remember when Jeezy was popping, it was like, yeah, you have to mention Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, Jeezy, like you have to mention them because it was a different conversation. That Pusha T had a great, phenomenal year, and everybody was behind what Pusha T did that year. But
the conversation did not shift in that direction.
The conversation did not shift to why don't we put Pusha T in the conversation with Kendrick, Drake, and Cole? Why don't we put Pusha T in that conversation?
I'm an old head, so you don't want to go back. What's that Jay-Z line? Only dudes moving units, pimp juicing us. And no one has ever elevated Nelly to that status. So again, even with the heat, I'm still saying people were talking about Pusha T like, oh shit, we forgot this motherfucker can rap. He is one of those ones that's actually one of the GOATs. Jeezy was a hot feature. Jeezy was one of those people like a 2 Chainz who's like, dude, he's having his moment. But I never really heard Jeezy being considered one of those top 10 potential of all time, even during that hot streak. And you talking to somebody that to this day would still wake up on a Tuesday and play Thug Motivation.
That was the first CD I ever bought. But
that's where the conversation differs.
Y'all can dap up, but I don't think my point was disproven.
No, I'm more on your side of it. Of like, look, if you again comparing actual rapping ability down to the science of it, Pusha T is better, and like I don't think there's much of an argument there in general. But legacy and impact and the dude Jeezy changed hip hop literally so like by himself, completely moved everything into the direction that it came into. Jeezy and Gucci really at the time, they were kind of the same but different of each other going through the late 2000s. You get Thug Motivation 101. Jeezy invented trap music, which we're still listening. That's still the
Jeezy
music.
did not invent trap music.
Who do you
That's
say
a debate. There's T.I., there's Gucci, and there's Jeezy.
Okay,
and
all right.
Wherever you fall on that scale.
I will say, okay, I could call me wrong because of T.I.
But
Anyone
no,
else? No,
I
absolutely
feel
the
you.
fuck not. It's T.I., Jeezy, and Gucci. The real antithesis at the time was Jeezy and Gucci because T.I. was a given, is that he was in the position that he was in. Jeezy had a huge impact. Pusha T has always been a very good rapper, but he has not shifted hip hop nearly as much as Jeezy did.
dude, white moms knew about Young Jeezy. They did not know about Pusha T. Like, there was just a different level that Jeezy reached that Pusha T didn't. Now, I'm all in for the debates of the technicalities of who's better because look, like I said, I love Pusha T's discography. I think it's a phenomenal discography. If I'm being objective here, what Jeezy had, Pusha T, because you brought up 2018, which was Pusha T's one of his best years ever, if not his best year ever, as Pusha T. But nobody said, let's redefine the conversation of who is the best in the game right now. They were only giving him, this was a phenomenal year to Pusha T. Hats off to Pusha T. Nobody on this earth.
I disagree. I think that
Bryce, Bryce, you know what Jeezy is to like the everybody. He's like when white people ask, can you make it a little bit more urban? can you be a little bit more urban with it? That's what Jeezy is.
Yeah,
with this
if
shit.
you want to play it that way, that's incorrect. But
I think Pusha T lands way better in the white community than Jeezy.
I agree with that too.
Oh my god. Oh shit, my fault, bro. I'm sorry.
You want to take that one?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Damn, it's real funny. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just.
Floor is yours, buddy.
Like, yeah,
No, it was
don't just laugh. Like, expound on the point. Like, I'm.
You just said white moms play Jeezy. You just said that 5 minutes ago.
My mom knows who Jeezy is, and my mom doesn't know who Pusha T is. I can tell you that much.
Perfect example.
My mom knows both, but here's another thing. The first thing my mom remembers, if I asked her to name a Young Jeezy song right now, she couldn't. But if I start banging down the grinding beat, she knows, and she's like, oh, I remember that. Because one thing that gives Pusha T a little bit harder of a time, Jeezy's always been by himself outside of USDA. I understand he was part of USDA. But mainly he came to his own as a solo artist. If we're going to talk about Pusha, we got to talk about the influence of the Clips too, which also, with Pharrell, changed the hip-hop game. And the whole fact that when we talk about the South, where Jeezy got his influence from, who was so hot to jump on with the Clips and the Neptunes, which started this whole hip-hop like civil war, and you go back to the beginning.
It literally has spawns to today. I get you. Look,
Birdman,
I'm not trying to downplay
Lil Wayne.
I'm not trying to downplay Pusha T's legacy. There is literally just levels to this, and I'm looking at one person that Jay-Z has done features for Pusha T because I fuck with you. He did features with Young Jeezy because, yo, I need to be on a Young Jeezy record right now. There is a strong,
I think it was a level of respect. I don't think it was a need.
Difference.
But that
I think it's a level of respect for both of them.
There is a strong difference between how Jay-Z looked at a Young Jeezy record in Young Jeezy's prime versus Pusha T, and that's all I'm saying. Look,
But
I think it was a respect. I think it was a respect thing because he also respected Go Crazy. Like, okay, this is something that I feel like that's, I also respected. If you want me on the movement, I'm part of it.
No, it is it is a respect thing too, obviously. But
that's where I'm saying we need to define.
There was
Jay-Z don't need to be on anybody's shit if
walls.
you don't want to be.
We need to define
That's
the walls
facts.
of this argument. Is it just rapping ability, or is it?
It's whatever everybody decides.
But then I could say I could say the both for different people. Pusha
Right.
T, better rapper, I think unquestionably.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
Influence,
disagreeing with that.
Fucking Jeezy, unquestionably.
I can agree with that.
So
All right, so Shania Twain or Madonna? I mean, like, that's what are we debating here? What's the point? What's the end goal of this? Shania Twain or Madonna? Right now, let's go.
Well,
To
it
talk
depends.
hip-hop.
Is it the better singer or is it the influence? That's
To
what
talk-
I'm saying. That's
But
what
I'm
getting
just-
at.
But to go
And
with
it is
42 Doug,
everybody's
that's all
own-
he's doing. All right, fine. Shania Twain or
But that's
Madonna
why
right now.
we're-
And
as a
it's-
hip hop podcast,
it's
welcome
the
to the
only-
This argument is
Welcome to
dangerous
the
as
Rap
hell
Game
because
podcast where we debate hip-hop.
this argument is dangerous as hell because this is what takes away from like real deep, like beautiful rap music. And it's like, oh well, like this song's nice, it's cool, and it connects with everybody. But this song right here is hype, everybody likes it. And
You
it's
can only
like
like one thing.
commercialized,
You can
bro.
only like one thing in the
It's
other.
too. It's like
But-
that's when we start
but
like
that's why-
veering off to like what rap actually was about.
No,
But-
we're giving opinion. Like, are you saying? Hold on. I'm not trying to set you up. I love you, my bird, but you look away saying what you just said, because what you're saying, you're very much downplaying who Young Jeezy is and who he spoke to, versus who Pusha T is and who Pusha T spoke to. I'm not denying that neither of these great artists spoke to somebody. They both did. That's why they're that's why they're highly regarded. You can't say, because what it sounds like you're saying is that Pusha T is that real shit and Jeezy is that bullshit.
No, he's not
when
saying-
there's a lot of
That's what you're saying.
street-
He's saying this
That is how that sounds, and I'm giving you the chance
That's
to
what
clarify.
you hear. That's
He's
what
saying
you hear.
this
That's
dis-
not what I said. That's
he's
what
saying
you're
this
hearing.
discussion in itself is what takes away from being able to appreciate music in the way it is, rather
Why?
than the debate itself. Because it makes everything overly competitive, and you can't just enjoy two things at once.
Tribe Called Quest and
Nobody's
Tupac
saying
are
that you
both
can't-
great artists,
I know.
but that should not be compared.
Yeah,
I know,
nobody's
but-
saying that you can't compare.
It's the fact that
That's why I just felt, I apologize if I took your analogy the wrong way,
But
because
the-
to
now
me,
to-
I don't think we're degrading either.
we're
one.
talking about the same podcast that versus Big Sean and J. Cole. That never had to be fucking done in the history
Ever.
of the world. But like,
But they're still similar. They're still contemporaries. I just don't feel like Pusha T and Young Jeezy to me felt like contemporaries. I felt like it was a very odd thing to mix. Like I said, it'd be like me coming back and saying like Tribe, who's one of the best of like the backpack hip hop underground era,
great, it was the best. Yeah.
a goat in that respect. Let's put Tribe against Jay-Z, or let's put Tribe against
Migos.
Tupac or Migos. Yeah, like
Like
it's
totally different.
Perfect, bro.
yeah, like you
Totally
said.
different realms. I
I'll
get what
say
you're
that-
saying.
Yeah.
It's further removed though because Jeezy and Pusha T are of the same generation.
Yeah.
And
I
same
think it's
time
just
period.
because they were but again, like that's why I said Tupac, because they were both releasing music at the same time. They're two different things.
Right.
It's right now, and I know I talk a lot about Little Brother, but Little Brother
out.
releasing at the same time as like Lil Wayne, as the same time they had the songs out at the same time as Soulja Boy, as you know. So they're very different things, and I do think that I don't want to I understand hip hop is competition, hip hop is debate, and I think that no matter what, we all can agree that it's fun to debate. But at the same time, I don't see, and this is when I go back to the 42 Doug portion of it. Pusha T, he sent this tweet out when clips were coming into town. What is your end goal? Because no matter what you do, I want to make sure that everyone knows that we should do nothing without intention. So what is their intention? That's my question. So the real question for me is not Pusha T or Jeezy. What's 42 Doug's intention? Is he trying to rally support for Detroit artists who I will agree, a lot of them are younger, so Jeezy's been a part of the fabric of the city, they're going to connect more with. Why do this now, knowing that the clips are in town on Wednesday? Like, what is your intention?
Can it not just be a rap fan talking?
Yeah,
Because I've had a lot of tweets. Look, I'm not saying that you're wrong
Did it
in
ever
that
need
there
to be
can be some
compared?
ulterior
No.
motive. I don't know 42 Doug on a personal level.
And
I
I
have
don't
no
know-
fucking clue if it's
And I'm not saying
personal
that it-
motive or whatever. But like, have you not just tweeted out like, I prefer this artist over this artist?
And that's personal preference. But what I'm saying is timing to me makes the most sense. And so even if it's not your intention, this goes back to my whole thing. If you can shut the fuck up, like if I tweeted out something right now about the political landscape that just happened, even if I mean to just talk about it at this moment, it's gonna be
just shut the fuck up.
yeah, it's gonna be wrapped into the story of the narrative. So no, even if you don't intend to do something, you want to think more in life, and this is just life lesson of when you say something, even if you may not think of unintended consequences. You can still do it, but unintended consequences exist, and you have to be willing to kind of answer for that at certain points in life.
But the objective here is not that. Sorry, but I just want to add the last thing. The objective is the conversation was proposed. It's not that we came up with it, whether it's relevant or not. It was proposed, and we're not discussing the reasons behind why he said what he said or any of that. It's just the discussion in itself.
Right.
Would I ever put those two artists in the same conversation? No. But that's what we're here to do, is to compare apples to oranges and decide which fruit we like better. That's the objective isn't the reason it was brought up. It's just the conversation at hand. And that's why it's like, yeah, I would never put them in the same fucking conversation really ever, because they're opposite sides of the tree of hip hop realistically. Yeah. But like, I mean, I get it. It goes back to us comparing J. Cole to Big Sean. I can see how you see similarities. People could draw similarities from them too, in a way. You know what I mean?
But I think, like I said, my whole thing about it is, if I were to bring up gun violence in this week, right now, no matter if I just happen to completely not read the news and all of a sudden just bring it up, it's still going to be taken in such a way. It's still going to have that unintended consequence. And if I did read the news and still decided, let me make my own points, I can't be upset. And I don't know that 42 Doug is upset. I'm not saying, I don't know the man's mentality right now. Shout out to 42 Doug regardless. But to do that at this exact moment is either being kind of blind to what's going on or having intention of what the reality is. And that's all I can say. It's one of the two.
I'm not interested in 42 Doug's perspective. You know, like, I'm not interested on his opinion on it. I'm more interested in the conversation and the debate itself. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, because everybody has their propagandas that they push, and we've seen it related to what you said, which to me, no politics aside. Right. Rest in peace. I don't like anybody dying. I want to transition to what you brought up in terms of how you talked about like legacy and how people are moving and stuff, is Young Thug. And so Young Thug has now dropped in the last week 2 songs, plus did an interview with Banks, which I don't know if anybody in the room watched it, but I put it in the group chat, and I was like, look, I understand that this is like an investment because it's a 3-hour interview, but this shit is phenomenal. And so I don't know if
it also came out the same week as a profile in Pitchfork specifically about him too. So
it's interesting because I was killing him because I was like kicking his back in because of the fact that he, like, I feel like these leaks made him look away and blah blah, and there was just like his whole movement and motion that he's had since his release from jail has looked not great, and I've been highly critical. And you've been asking for the album too. Sources that I'm connected to have said this album's been done for months. And so I'm like, why are these calls leaking? Because it's clearly not his intention right now for these calls. And also not random. Exactly. Like, this feels like a smear campaign. So why are you not dropping your album that's been done for months? And then also at the same time, there happens to be this smear campaign that's building against you. And I'm here to say that all that he's done in the last week has done a very great job of reshifting the focus, because I thought that interview with Banks was absolutely phenomenal. I thought it was honestly, it was one of the best pieces of hip hop media that I have seen in years, because it was very much into the psyche of Young Thug.
Very honest, very raw.
It got into listen, he started the conversation with, what is your first memory? And that seems like a simple question, but it's like he did a good job of like taking like, fuck Young Thug, who's Jeffrey? Like, who are you as a person? And he got into that. And then he got into like, yeah, people are going to talk about the Gunna part of it and things of that nature, where he explained himself. He explained his whole situation. And there's that combined with the song that he put out. One was very energetic. The other was very like apologetic almost, like where he talked about, hey, there's all these relationships that I'm fucked up about that I want to fix. And then that correlated with the interview, and that's what meant something to me, is that it correlated. I can see why those two songs exist when I watch that interview, because when I watch that interview, Young Thug is a people pleaser. Young Thug is somebody that genuinely, and he said it himself, he looks for love in other people. Like he wants to be a community. He wants to build a community. And he's done that. He's done that with Atlanta. And there's been certain people that have gone against him, and and we can get into the thick of it. But I just like, man, I was really, really appreciative of how he's handled this last week. This has completely changed, because I looked at it from a perspective of, if I'm Young Thug, how could I let this smear campaign happen, sit by, do nothing, apparently have an album done for months, and not put it out?
It's a lot easier to make it worse than to cap it and say, this isn't the direction And
he's done a great, fantastic job. So listen, if anybody hasn't seen the Young Thug interview, I highly recommend watching literally every second of it. Every question was good. So shout out to Banks, by the way. I thought he did a good job of
wonderful job interviewing.
I thought he did a good job of being representing like Atlanta and being like, yo, like, hey, look, I'm still, like he said it, I'm still cool with Gunna. Mm-hmm. Like, and I know that you love Gunna, like you genuinely love him. Like Thug said in the interview, I spent more time with Gunna than I spent with my children. Right or wrong, like. He was like, and then Banks was like, so you got love for him. So I'm not gonna say you two need to patch it up. All I'm gonna say is that Gunna feels like he can't talk to you, and you feel like you can't talk to Gunna, and there's some breakdown there. Like, he literally did his best of like being honest, open, transparent.
It was therapy.
It was, man. I really respected it.
Well, I think
shout out to Young Thug, man. That was incredible.
I think it's really cool too, because we've talked about this among other people in the past couple of weeks or over the summer, about how there's some artists you just kind of don't know a whole lot about personally, and not that you need to, whatever, however you want to take it. And Thug is one of those people. It's like you don't really, you can't really peel a lot of the curtain back through his music. So it's cool because this kind of humanizes him and puts him on a plateau of like you said, the fact that he started with just like, what's your first memory, is like, this peels the curtain back.
I didn't know that he had I didn't know that he had crazy amount of siblings. I didn't know that he watched his brother get murdered at a young age. Like, I didn't know any of that.
It peels the curtain back on Young Thug, this artist that has been a name in our lives for at least 15 years at this point, pretty much, close to. It gives us more perspective on him as a person that we necessarily didn't get directly from his music, and I think that's really cool that it opened up more of understanding who he is.
And I think that when he came out of jail, a lot of the narrative was around the whole rat allegations with Gunna, how's he going to react with Gunna, and all that type of stuff. Him coming out being really aggressive against, no rats, no all this stuff. It created this wall that I think that you had other artists, other people in his camp who have took those things some type of way, and we're definitely trying to tear him down. There are people, I think there's still people in the Atlanta court system. Obviously, this is all instantiated, of course, but in the prosecution's office, that's still pissed. They were trying to build a career case off of this for him to basically make them look like fools months over months over months, having to have multiple different judges come out. It doesn't surprise me that these conversations leaked, and anyone in jail knows that your conversations are recorded, but they're still not public.
I'm so glad you said that, because to me, that's where the smear, like if I want to go conspiracy, that's where a smear campaign looks at. And that's why I said from the jump, remember, like several episodes back, like when we talked about Young Thug, the one thing I mentioned is like he has to be very careful how he operates, because he made a fool of the U.S. government, and they are going to look to make an example to get their get back.
The DA's department in Atlanta had an election where literally the opposition candidate said, I'm going to drop this case because it doesn't make sense. Like, Young Thug was influencing that politics in the city. So, of course, there's going to be a lot. And then when you build up that wall, no rats, so-and-so, like, I don't want no rats. The first thing that things are going to try to do is someone's going to try to smear you to make you look bad. So the best thing that you can do in those situations is bear your truth. And Thug, in this interview, bared his truth.
Yeah.
I think it does make sense that, like the whole Glorilla thing, I'm sure, you guys talked about it before, but just like that's a one-off comment.
Yeah.
Thug in these moments, it's not like me when I made fun of Ace Hood on this show, because Ace Hood, if you want the smoke, let's go. But
you deserve to be made fun of.
You deserve to be made fun of.
You really don't like that man, bro. That's hilarious.
But again, it's separate than...
Such a wild hatred.
Did he really? It's separate though.
Sorry, just want to say, because I don't know anyone that passionately hates Ace Hood. I don't care for him or look for him, but the fact that you
that's a great conversation. Who's your artist that you don't have like a real
actually
reason
I actually don't hate Ace Hood. He's just funny to make fun of to me.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
But who's that artist for you? Who's your Ace Hood?
Well, we said artists.
So. Yeah, exactly. But go really quickly though. Just going back to it though, it's different though than me saying this on a platform where I know I'm being recorded. I know that no matter what, anything that I say may at some point be used.
Right.
If I'm having a phone call with you, some of this, the Glorilla stuff, he was on the phone with his girlfriend, fiance, whatever they are now. Like, of course, when you're talking to your girl, sometimes you're going to be just naturally disparaging of other women, because that's one way that people try to make their girl feel better. Like, psh. And so that does not mean that he necessarily meant any ill will versus Glorilla. He just didn't think that private conversation, which again, I know it's recorded, but he never thought that was going to get out. That was a conversation between him and his girl.
Bro, he's talking every day on the phone.
Yeah, because he was in jail for over a year.
That's all he has to do. That's all he has to look forward to.
So even if you know your conversation will record, what's the chances that this is going to be the one that gets out?
I changed my answer. Post Malone.
Wait, to what?
The artist he just rashly hates.
The callback of hold on. I changed my answer. Post Malone. I hate him the most.
I don't think that's irrational, brother.
No, it's not. It's not irrational. It's just funny because it was like, you were
that's
sitting on
so
that.
Funny.
I was just like,
That's what's so funny is I
forgot.
forgot that I had posed that question. Yeah, no, that's Post Malone is not a valid or an unvalid hatred.
No,
by any means.
But
I'm right there with you. Fuck Post Malone.
But yeah,
everything stands for.
I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, just to kind of close that point, I think that if any of us have been sitting in a jail cell where you're staring at the same four walls with no motion for over a year, your whole livelihood, where this may be the rest of your life, is in front of you, no exit options, then yeah, you're not going to be on your P's and Q's 100% of the time when you have the opportunity to talk to a loved one and just kind of dive into your mentality. Of course, he's hearing about stuff from the outside, inside jail, from his phone calls. So when he hears something about Drake, yeah, he's going to call him silly. Because in his mind, he's like, yo, I'm going through this.
Know.
I'm going through all, I don't know the full facts, but also I'm going through this right now. This may be the end of my life right here.
Yeah.
All this
Everything
other
else
bullshit
was
is silly.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that he's going to come and be honest, bare all. And yes, the album may be done, but I think that he came out with like such an aggression and a harder stance. I guarantee there's going to be some changes to that album because of the way things moved for him once he came out. Some of the people that he thought were going to be in his corner weren't in his corner. Some of the moves that he thought were going to be made for him weren't. So yes, you may complete that album, but it makes sense to not release that album until you know that this is the first real official project you want to put out to people who have been waiting for, I know he released some stuff in prison, but really waiting for a year and a half to see how do you reflect on that time and now being out.
Say where you at with the whole Young Thug thing.
I have no words for that man, bro. I mean, dude's just gonna have to figure out his way through all of this shit. I mean, I take it. I call it that. I take it back to what Bryce said. Sometimes you just gotta know when to shut up. And Young Thug, I think you need to take that advice.
I think you can point that to his tweets, but I don't think you can hold that against him via his recorded calls.
Tweets are talking. Either way is the same thing. Like, bro, like especially on Twitter, like and social media too.
Like that
social
shit
media
was crazy.
is a crazy place. Like people.
Bro was tweeting like it was 2009 and it didn't matter.
People get on TikTok and Twitter.
That
and
man
start
thought he had a
ranting, bro.
That
and
man
I'm
had
like,
that Carmelo
you
Anthony no snitching
can
campaign
just
type
keep
shit.
this to yourself, bro. Like all of this stuff that people get on social media and just be like, I don't know if I didn't know if I wanted to post this. We'll see how it does. I'll delete 11 tomorrow. I was like, well, why are we doing this then? Stop talking. Some of the stuff does not need to be put on social media. Some of the stuff that y'all be saying in like songs and on Twitter and social media needs to be told in therapy. Some of y'all need therapy bad as fuck.
But you don't think that record that he dropped, the second one, wasn't that like? I really appreciate that because he kind of put it out there on where he stands with damn near everybody you would want to know as a Young Thug fan. You would want to know where he stands. You would want to know where he stands with Drake. You would want to know where he stands with Lil Baby. You would want to know where he stands with Gunna.
I really don't. I really just want him to put out music. If he feels some type of way, he should go tell his therapist.
And I think
you don't want any introspection in his art at all.
Why? Did it have anything to do with him?
Yes. Well, the whole song was
No, I'm saying like who did he have beef with other than the Gunna and shit like that? Like Drake. Why are we talking about Drake?
Just because
he has a real relationship with Drake and they apparently had some
outside of
disagreements.
music. Does he?
It seems like it.
It does seem like it from the song.
Sounded like he was gonna cry on the record when he talked about Drake.
And I do think
and Lil Baby.
And I do think Zay.
What's his beef with Obama? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, didn't he say that in the one before that? The one
like,
from
does
last
that
week?
need to be
Didn't
like
he say,
what?
yeah,
What the fuck was that all about?
Yeah, didn't he say also like, yeah? And matter of fact, fuck Obama too, basically.
So I saw that going around. I honestly thought, and I could be totally incorrect, but I thought that tied to not like President Obama, but somebody that is like in his like YSL circle.
Oh, okay. So niggas got rap names named Obama. That's fucking.
Yeah, so, Obama's one of them names.
That's fire. No, I know. I know.
It's one of them names.
Yes.
It's forever attached.
It's forever attached to that.
If you're a rapper and your real name is Obama, you can't go by Obama. It's not gonna. It's gonna stay.
First off, 90% of them are definitely not named Obama.
There's an Obama
in the clout
in the
chasing
YSL
era,
group.
can we really put anything past
No.
a rapper
which
in his
which
name?
is, to be fair, yeah, 100%.
So no, I don't.
Allegedly, there's an Obama in the YSL group,
Well, I'm going to take it back to you.
and not the president Barack Obama.
I'm not saying there is. I'm just saying I don't know what the fuck that bar was about.
Yeah, because
that
really
was crazy.
It was out of the fucking blue.
Bryce.
It was like fuck all these people that I know and fuck Obama too.
Bryce, say what you said.
Bryce, does Genius have?
No. Say what you said earlier. Tell him what?
Sometimes, and this is the easiest thing to do, sometimes people just need to shut the fuck up. But I will say this. I will
should have just shut the fuck up a long time ago. And
we know that. But Zay, I will say this. I think when Thug came out, he was on social media like that. He was being reckless.
Right.
He was doing all that stuff. I think that this interview, while it's not real therapy, served as his kind of public therapy after all that shit came out. And then now this song is kind of his like public response. Now, is it going to be for everybody? No. Does he need to necessarily say it all? Maybe not. Maybe he could do better. But I don't know. Maybe he already told some of this to the people. I thought the best part to me of that song, honestly, was going back to when he was talking to Mariah the Scientist saying, you know what? I hate what I put you through for being in part, having to be a part of all this in this storyline because you didn't have anything to do with it. I was on the phone with you, and now people are thinking that you have some beef with like Glow or beef with Drake because we were on a phone call together. So I do appreciate that. That goes back to what I was talking about before, unintended consequences. Sometimes you really got to sit down when you're making moves and think, and especially when you speak, are there unintended consequences? You can't know them all. Mm-hmm. You can't know them all. There's no way to in this day and age. Yeah. But you got to be smart enough to think, is there a potential for some unintended consequences to come out? And if so, do I need to say what I'm saying in such a public manner? I feel bad for Thug, though, because when he was having these conversations, I know good and well, and I'm confident, I will bet on that he never thought this stuff would get released.
He never thought. And that's why I'm like, why is it being released now and whatever?
Yeah,
and I'm not trying to go through the conspiracy.
Has anyone researched the metadata on these calls to see if it's actually from where they're saying it's from?
It's not, but it sounds like we were just talking about a little second ago. It does look like more of a DA leak than anything else because they got made to be look silly.
They looked stupid.
They looked incompetent
during
that
that's
trial.
And that's why I said Thug's got to move so careful is because he has to.
Can they sue him for that?
Can they?
I mean, like,
can he sue them?
Can his team sue them for that?
If that is
prove it,
if they can prove it, which is going to be hard.
Yeah.
Right now, Thug,
it'd be really hard.
And Thug doesn't necessarily want to do that because, like you talked about, Platte, when moving real careful, the man still pled 2 charges to the point where he is on 15 years probation.
Yeah, you
and
don't want to put yourself in front of that.
All you got to do is piss them off a little bit because they will find the smallest lyric in your song, say you violated probation, and then you're back in jail.
Exactly.
Twist it, flip it into whatever way that
Bryce,
it can be.
because we talked about this last time, and we didn't have Bryce on the show, and you as our resident law person. So we were thinking like, what does Thug do after this? And we were pretty much saying like, why didn't he just like write music? If he wrote music for people and it included some type of violence, would that be violating his?
So I would have to look at the specific parameters of the parole. I would say probably not, because he could be a featured writer on a song where he does not even know. For instance, if he puts out a song, let's say for Lil Baby, and he's a co-writer on the song, and Lil Baby at the last second goes out and gets, C Murder to do a verse, he's not going to be necessarily aware of that. So there's enough plausible deniability there. From what I understand from the plea agreement, is more so in his music and what he specifically is promoting. Mm-hmm. So if he hears the song and is in the video, that could be a potential violation. Yes. But him just being a credited writer on a song for somebody else would not necessarily violate.
Also, understanding the way music credits go, you're getting credit for a verse, but they don't know what you're saying in that verse. So
it could be
they could point out the most pinpoint line of being like, I woke up rich today. And even though he wrote Lil Baby's whole verse, but Young Thug can, when he goes to court, say, this is the only line I wrote. Mm-hmm. Right. And they can't prove what lines he wrote and what lines he didn't. So I'm in agreement with you. It's all about the association. It's about
circumstantial. It'd be circumstantial evidence in court. It'd be very hard to prove.
It should be that way, and that's my on the opposite end of it was just as we're talking about is that the DA in this situation, or whoever's directly whoever this case was on the other end, the state of Georgia, whatever it was. or the Fed,
State of
United
Georgia
States, yeah.
You say the Georgia versus
They're obviously already embarrassed, and who knows the law better than the law itself of being able to flip any. I'm not saying it's right or that should happen, but I wouldn't put it past them to figure out a loophole to loop him into that.
Yeah, of course.
Because at the
That's
same
what their
thing,
goal is.
plausible deniability and circumstantial evidence. Who's to say he wrote it? Who's to say he didn't? At
Right.
the same time, now is that arrestable terms? But I'm saying this specific case, they will go tooth and nail to figure
Yeah.
out a way
Right.
to pin it.
because
They got embarrassed.
remember the burden of proof is always on the
plaintiff.
plaintiff because you're presumed innocent unless otherwise found guilty. So there's going to be still a burden of proof, and even in probation violations, the problem is right now the man is in a music industry. Things can be dissected in a certain way. What did Young Thug's name? What was Young Thug's name actually mean for?
Together we love the youth. No, I know.
Together-
It was
something
so crazy.
higher
Yeah.
under God or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
It was definitely under guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's always those levels of it, and the problem is this is not a trial for him when he goes to probation. It is the probation.
Pure
It's probation
factual, yeah.
violation, and so then he would have to go to jail appeal. So there's a whole process. So he knows he has to go back to the main point.
Yeah.
He knows he has to move in a certain way, and honestly, I think that he would rather just accept the fact that this is just a shitty situation where he's going to have to deal with his calls potentially being leaked. And hopefully his attorney, who shout out to his attorney, can separately from Young Thug, if they find anything, then bring that up, because that would be a violation of the rights of the state because they would have to get a court order to release those tapes. And then Young Thug wouldn't have any part of it. It would just be a violation brought against the state.
I think these leaked tapes are baiting him to do something crazy so that they can get him for whatever they want to get him for.
Yeah.
But before we,
like you said, he embarrassed them.
Before we
In that
close.
sense. They'll do anything to get back.
I agree. Before we close, we'll save that topic for another time. Top 5 albums this year. Top 5 albums this year so far. I can kick it off if everybody's scared.
I got some ideas, but I want to hear everyone else's because there's so many different albums and I was looking through this before we recorded too, and it's hard.
It's a good year.
It's
a very good year.
it's a very
This is
It's not a
this is
superstar year.
Up there with 2018.
This is not the superstar year that we've seen in the past. It's more so solid bodies of
I think
work.
it's going to end up being the superstar year.
I do think we're going to have some big
do you
releases
think?
at the end.
Do you think? If I'm saying 1.5 between Drake and Cole album drops, are you taking the over or the under? Are you saying both drop this year or just one?
I think just one. I think we still have to wait for the fall off, but I do think Iceman drops this year.
I think J. Cole could fuck the game up right now and drop.
And if J. Cole will drop, J.
And
Cole
that
has a
would push,
tendency.
and that would push Drake to fuck off till next year.
I think that J. Cole would do it at the end of the year. J. Cole's had a tendency in the past of dropping, like when people, right after
December.
people release like their end of the years, trying to get them done early, and then all of a sudden J. Cole drops, and they're like, well, now we have to redo our list because J. Cole likes to do that.
2014 and For Your Eyes Only were both in December.
Although that's true, I would argue on the fence of this album, J. Cole's already been.
I got my 5.
J.
ahead.
Cole's already been anticipating this album for a long time. Everyone knows what his plan is as far as the next album. He doesn't do this without small inklings far in advance of it actually coming out. And we're already too late for it to, I feel, start gearing up. J. Cole, with the fall off, I see this being sprinkle something 6 months, sprinkle something 4 months.
Especially because of how much of
7
a
years? The fall has been 7 years in the making.
No, but that's different. Just because he said it's a thing, technically we don't even know that it's done yet. We don't even technically know that by what J. Cole has stated.
I think.
So what I'm saying is like, I think that J. Cole is no stranger to hip hop, no stranger to a rollout, no stranger to how the
I
industry
agree.
works. And it's not even about selling the most, but if J. Cole is actually going
It's
out
about
on this,
making the
which we
moment,
all
yeah.
could argue that he probably isn't, but if he is, he's going out with a fucking bang, and he's doing this meticulously. I think
agree.
that he would have the ball would have already been actually rolling by now.
I
if
think we
that
would have
was the
had
case.
another Clouds or something else of that release because he would have dropped like false prophet like he did before with false prophets, everything like kind of gearing you.
Something, a little of
But
this
he
and that,
dropped False Prophets the week before he dropped?
Yeah, but again, that's not the fall off though. I'm talking. This is gonna be a teaser trailer album. This is gonna be I don't know, short film accompanied.
I think that we may actually truly get a legitimate single that lets us know the fall off is here.
Yeah, and
It's happening before the end of the year. I just want to let y'all know.
Okay.
And
okay, well,
and
I'll bet
on
you
top
$5.
on top of that, it's gonna be a double album.
I'm not opposed to that. I would believe that.
I believe that 100%.
The fall off is coming in 2025, and it's going to be a double album.
Okay, I'll hold
If you
to
look
that.
at the history, of rap, if you look at where J. Cole is in the rap hierarchy, who in J. Cole's realm hasn't dropped a double album? Jay has dropped a double album. Kendrick has dropped a double album. Nas has dropped a double album. Drake has dropped a double album.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to him
Snoop
doing
Dogg
it.
has dropped The Game. I'm naming all people that are in the conversation, the Biggie, Pac. Literally, there is a history of every single all-time great, outside of one name, Eminem, has dropped a double album. And so with J. Cole, this is his moment. 7 years in the making, a lot of teasing. I agree with you guys. He doesn't actually want to retire. That's why this album is taking so long, because he doesn't actually want to retire. But when it comes, and it is going to come this year, it's going to be a double album.
The double
And I'm
album.
just saying it first.
I'll stand behind that. I wouldn't be surprised at all if it's a double album.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I do not think it's coming this year.
All right. Anyways,
All right, we got Platte. We got $5
Top five.
on it. I set a calendar reminder on New Year's Eve to
Okay.
remind me.
all right.
$5.
All right. Well, getting back to what we were originally talking about, though, you
Yeah,
did
top
ask about
five.
the top five.
Yes,
I think Zay
that's
actually
right.
said he got his ready. So
Zay,
Go off, King.
This is in no order, by the way.
the whole point is you got to have an order, don't you?
No, this is in no order. Cause I just did it. I just did it. It was in my head.
Way to prepare.
It was just right here. Don't Tap the Glass.
okay.
Alfredo 2.
Mm-hmm.
The Good, the Bad, and the Dollar Menu. And Life is Beautiful.
Who was the dollar menu one again?
Rayvon.
Rayvon.
I think that's 4, right?
I was gonna say, I think that's 4.
1, 2.
Life is Beautiful.
Three,
Alfredo
4,
2. Dollar Menu.
Yeah, Don't Tap the Glass.
And what was
Alfredo
it?
2.
Oh, Alfredo 2.
Oh, sorry. Let God
Oh.
Forgive.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say
okay.
that's
My
a
bad,
miss-
my bad,
that's
my
a
bad.
miss-
I think there was one that we all
Yeah,
kind of
yep,
knew.
yep,
Yeah.
My fault.
All right.
And I would have to put that at number 1 if
Man.
I really wanted to like.
But the others
Actually, if I
hard
wanted,
to
I can
pinpoint.
rank it right now. Let me rank it right now. So Let God
There we
Summer Out.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah. Fuck it. Let God Summer Out would be 1. Alfredo 2 would be 2. Don't Tap the Glass would be 3. Rayvon would be 4, and Life is Beautiful would be 5.
Yeah. I like that list.
I like that list a lot.
Who wants to go next?
I can go. I actually had my list ready from a couple of weeks ago when
Yeah.
we
When
had
I
talked
first
about
teased it, yeah.
So I have mine. I'm giving order. So, and then I got just a couple honorable mentions also. At number 5, I have Earl Sweatshirt, Live, Laugh, Love.
Okay.
That's my shit. Not everybody gotta love it. I love it. That's a huge album this year for me. Number 4, Chance the Rapper, The Star Line.
Okay.
Number 3, Tyler the Creator, Don't Tap the Glass.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Amine, 13 Months of Sunshine. And number 1 is Clips, Let God Sort 'Em Out. And then my couple of honorable mentions are Alfredo 2.
Mm-hmm.
Also fantastic. The JID album is an honorable mention for me, but the two that stand out that These are the only two that are my realm that nobody else listens to. It's like more like punk shit and whatever. Is Turnstile's Never Enough, which I will have you know, I sent this in the group chat this week. I didn't get any responses. That Turnstile did their Tiny Desk this week, and the lead singer stage dived at the Tiny Desk studio, which that's pretty fucking sick.
That's actually hilarious.
That's fucking yeah. He stands up on the desk and front flips into the stage.
Bro broke the fourth wall.
Yeah, it was fucking sick.
Because there's always portrayed like there's a crowd there, but you never actually see it.
Yeah,
right.
But one of my favorite bands, and then I will also say Hot Mulligan's album, The Sound a Body Makes When It's Still, is fantastic. They're also a band that started in Michigan. I know people who know them, and it's cool to see them like achieving success. One of my top albums for the decade thus far is one of their albums, but not this one. So they're a huge band for me. But yeah, that's where mine stands.
I got an honorable mention too. Rome Streets' and Conductor's album.
I like that.
That's a good album.
That's
a good album.
It's came up so much in the past like week or two, like a lot, because it was earlier this year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It came out. Actually, I almost want to put that. I want to put that number 5 on some real shit.
Rome Streets is cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm changing that. That's gonna be my number 5.
Yeah,
That
he's
shit
gonna
was
be
hard.
difficult right now.
But that came out in May.
right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what?
So I've been going back and forth with this since I got the topics late last night. I do have a lot of different variety. I will say my number one, very simply, is Let God Sort 'Em Out by Clips, album of the motherfucking year as of right now. I'm fully fledged on that. That's my number one.
Yeah.
My number 2 right now, it's not the most popular, but I don't care. I thought that Ramirez's The Player Manual Volume 2 was so fucking dope from start to finish. That is just pure West Coast, just unadulterated love right there.
I want to talk after the show about you because I got shit to say about that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's like my number 2 recently because I was even late when I didn't get the notification right when it came out. And then when I heard it, I'm like, how did I go so many weeks without even hearing this? Like, it is to me dope. I'm going to go with Alfredo 2 at number 3 just because I think that even though it's not as good as Alfredo 1, I do think that it is still top quality. Freddie Gibbs, I know it's another topic, one of the most underrated rappers to me in the game. One of my honorable mentions, just thinking about the rap side of things, I'm going to shout out RJ Mr. LA. I thought he had a solid project too.
I love that shout out.
I think that's a solid honorable mention. I'm also going to have to honorable mention because I loved it, but I just didn't. It's not 100 for me.
Say it.
Is Don't Tap the Glass by Tyler.
No.
I think my last 2 though, my last 2 are not hip hop, so I want to give a big shout out to Pink Panthers. I thought that, and it was only 20 minutes, but I thought
haven't given her album a spin.
that I thought
like
that was dope.
I fuck with her heavy. I haven't listened to the album, but I feel like I've heard all the songs. And she's a very single oriented artist. You know,
I felt like
I fuck with Pink Panther.
I felt like
fuck
it. I felt like because in her last album too, she
Panthers,
was
right?
Panthers. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was trying to do a little bit more growth with her lyrics. This is just fun, and sometimes it's nice to have an album that is just fun. And then for me, I'm gonna round it out with Black Party's. What's the name of the album?
Black Party's album.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Did
wait,
you
wait,
know?
wait, wait,
Did you
wait.
know that
Hold
through
up.
me, or
No,
you found out?
I've known
yo?
Black Party since way back.
So this
I've
is
been-
my first experience of Black.
I've been
Party.
listening to Black Party
Phenomenal.
since his first EP.
Phenomenal.
Because he was signed, because he's Black Party and the stylizations of his name
Yeah.
are to represent Louisiana and like LA, where he spent, like he was
Right.
born and where he moved to.
LA and
Like
no,
LA
Arkansas.
Arkansas and LA. Yeah, Arkansas and LA.
That's cool.
Remind me
That-
of
I
LA
just seen
Reezy
that.
for a second.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
of somebody
Totally
else.
different
I've never
artist.
really heard of this guy.
No,
go
really
back.
dope. I think I played a record when we were chilling, and you were like, yeah, and you were like, yeah, I fuck with it.
Yo, I've been fucking with him heavy for years now, so I'm just excited. Like, I know that 2 years ago, Hotline kind of was his first like bigger single, but I was like, yo, this man's been fire for a while. He's got some songs with Kari Fox. He's got some songs with like a little bit of everybody, and they're just kind of Gene Doe. Like there's so many great songs, and then this album to me just a great culmination of that style of like lazy summer R&B. I think it had more pieces to it than what I wanted like a rap version for Amine to be. I wanted a little bit more of that Black Party production in this Amine album. I still fuck with the Amine album, but it did kind of fall off pretty quickly for me. Black Party's still in rotation.
Okay. All right. So I appreciate y'all list. Let me show you the right list.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Honorable mentions. Honorable mentions, too, that didn't make my top 5. Alfredo 2. Phenomenal album. And Ghostface Supreme Clientele 2.
Yeah.
So number 5, I got Amine, 13 Months of Sunshine. Number 4, I got Ray Vaughn, The Good, The Bad, The Dollar Menu.
Was a good album.
Number 3, I got, and this is where it gets tough for me. There's 3 albums, and it's very tough for me to differentiate between the 3. Number 3, I got Giveon Beloved. Number 2, I got Chance Starline. And number 1, I got Clips.
So all four of us, did we all have Clips number 1 basically?
Yeah.
We did.
We all had Clips number 1, and I'm the only person that didn't have that Tyler the Creator album anywhere near my honorable mentions.
Gotcha.
It's not horrible. It's just like there was a lot of quality. Like I put in the same tier as like JID. Like it was cool, but
JID was cool. I can see that. It's almost like
I
Joey
didn't
Badass
listen
to me.
Yeah.
It had its moments.
Joey Badass. No, hold on.
Joey Badass had his moments.
Don't disrespect Tyler like that. That Joey Badass album is fucking terrible. I have not listened to it a second after it dropped.
A couple
Not
of
none of the
fine
songs.
on it,
None.
but
Oh,
You can point to some fine songs, sure. There are some fine songs on there, sure. But are they fine songs that I want to return to? No.
oh, please! Right now, what's the song? There's one song off that album that has
That
been
one, I
heavy in my
feel like I
rotation.
know. It's like track 3. It's that. Is it
It's
that,
the one that sounds like some old school.
Pharrelly one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you're talking. That one's
I
dope.
know which one you're talking about. Yeah,
But
that's
the album in general,
that's not bad.
It
But,
was-
I'm not. There's a difference between like not hating a track and wanting to
Super
return
Flea,
to it.
Super Flea.
I
no,
don't
please.
give a
That is one of.
If
If
I
you
go the rest
talk
of
to
my
me
life
this,
without hearing about
if
this,
you talk about
I'm
this
fine.
past week, I've probably played. That may be one of my top 5 most played songs this week.
but that doesn't make it. That doesn't make the album.
It doesn't make the album. The album to me was palatable. It wasn't great, but it had its moments. It is kind of like Tyler. Like I have some songs off it, Tyler's album that I go back and listen to. But there are lots of songs I heard on that. I was just like, oh, I like this song that week, and the next week it comes on my Switch or my Spotify. I'm just like, next.
There's a moment.
Yeah.
There's moments for it. Yeah. And
I think both of them have moments. I think the same thing with Chances. I think Chances got some moments, and some of Chances' album sounds like the equivalent of hip hop elevator music to me.
Starline smokes the boots off of that Joey Badass album. Don't you
That-
ever disrespect.
Some
don't
of
you
some
ever disrespect
some of
that
Chance's
shit.
album sounds like the equivalent of hip hop elevator music.
I know that. I know what the thing is like I know what you mean by hip hop elevator music, and that
It's not bad.
It's not bad, but the only thing about Chance, which is why he made number 4 for me, is that it's not bad, but some of it is indistinguishable from itself. It almost is like too cohesive to a point where you don't really have moments. It's more free. It feels like free flowing thought.
And
Like,
that's
you know
all.
what I mean?
And that's all I want is Joey Badass to have one moment on that album where it stands out. Because honestly,
that song is the one. Where I
That
say
that
it
is a
stands
standout.
out.
There are a couple on that album to me.
forget that album exists.
Oh no! See, there are a couple on that album to me that I go back to and listen to.
That
there are a couple
album's
of
not
chants that I
touching-
go back to and listen to, and other times where you can put on the Joey Badass, it'll be on in the background, and I won't even know I'm listening to music. And the same thing with the Chance album, where I have to remind myself, oh shit, Chance album is playing in the background.
But,
That
well,
Joey Badass album isn't smoking
but
my
I think-
isn't
but-
isn't touching my top
Y'all better
25.
stop playing with
Yeah.
Bryce.
Now the thing that I do find interesting about this exact discussion, as opposed to because Bryce, you were already more grown than the Chance Tyler and Joey, that was like when we were in high school, right?
Yeah.
So like that's like where it landed for us, and I think all of us in the room, obviously you were already well aware, but we're still, that's our developmental music, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so I think we can all in this room agree is that all three of them did not put out even near the best of their works this year.
No. Hell
You know
no.
what I mean?
Who did you name?
Tyler, Chance, and
Tyler,
Joey.
And Joey.
Joey's peak
I
is
think
still
that's
waves.
a very disrespectful conversation to put Chance in.
This is not Chance's best album by any means.
It's not.
It's not
It's
even
not,
clear
but
his
I
best.
think that's way closer to Chance's best album than Tyler or Joey. It's not even
you know what?
debatable.
Okay, I will.
Not even debatable.
I'll agree with you on that, but that's not the point I'm making.
The point he's making is that none of the three put out their best shit.
None of the.
They've all had bigger peaks.
That's totally
Right, and
fine,
it's
but
fine.
there's levels to shit.
But that's all. That's all I'm saying. Chance's album is definitely better than Tyler's and Joey's. I'll give it that.
Even in their catalogs.
Yeah.
Is Don't Tap the Glass
Well,
a
no,
top
but-
a top 4 Tyler album?
This is Chance's third
Is
out
Joey-
of 4 best project, or
is
third,
Joey-
third out of 5 best project.
I'll take 10 a day over a Starline.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, this is 4th out of 5. Honestly, I'm taking 10-day acid rap and coloring book over Starline.
I'm
Same.
taking
Same.
Starline
The
over
only thing that he
everything
has,
except
the
Coloring
only
Book.
thing that you have to compare it to is that bullshit biggest day or best day or whatever, which shouldn't even count.
Yeah, but he doesn't like acid rap though, which is fine. It's okay. Everyone has their opinions.
Wait a minute. What?
Oh, I might have cracked the candle. You know what? I'm taking the night off. I'll talk to you.
Yeah, I got nothing to say for the Nana Boo Boo raps. We'll just keep it at that. All right. I can honestly, and we won't do that because
No,
we've already,
not boo boo, but you just want to be in the stuck
we've
in the
already-
elevator all day.
We've already spent time. Listen, if my elevator music is talking about how fucked up the Christian church is, then that's a wild elevator to be in. That's
be
a
fair-
wild fucking elevator to be in.
No, Chance's album was really good.
And I don't got the time to go through it, but I
Right.
promise you, I could give you 25 albums this year that dropped, and I'm like, is this better than Joey Badass? And you guys wouldn't be.
And
like,
I think I can do the same thing with Chance the Rapper. I think I can give you 25 albums this year across genres, and you would all probably agree, yeah, this is better than Chance. So I think we're in the same boat in that one.
I don't. Chance is number 2. Chance is definitely a tier above that mid tier rap that we've had this year. But that's all I got. That's all I got. That's all I got to
it.
say on
I'm
it.
burning
Bro,
my
I'm
house
hungry
down.
as fuck.
Yeah.
I think that's the sign.
Yeah.
I'm hungry, boy, too.
All right, then we'll wrap it up here. Let us know in the comments below your top 5 albums so far this year that dropped. How do you feel about Young Thug and everything that's moving and shaking around that, and Jeezy versus Pusha T? We had some good discussions, fellas. I'm really happy. with this episode.
Very debate-filled episode. This feels like ESPN today.
Yeah, and shout out to Birdie. I think he'll be on the next show. I got to check this dude. I didn't sign off on a month vacation.
He's been
I don't
on
know what the
PTO.
fuck. Yeah.
I'll be out of town next
I would say I'm the only one that gets that PTO.
Yeah.
I'm calling off now.
Part of my contract.
Like,
That's
comment,
crazy.
describe.
Like, comment, subscribe, and Monday I got a great video dropping with Top 5 Troy. Shout out to Top 5 Troy, one of the best YouTubers in the game, one of the best people
out,
in
shout
hip hop
out.
media. That is great. And if you haven't already, please go to our channel and check out my interview with Brian, aka Z, great music industry expert. He broke down the game entirely. We talked about AI. We talked about album rollouts, all the nerdy hip hop shit that we love, all the music shit. He broke it all down, man. Like, honestly, that guy is honestly, man, I'm not even just saying this. Like, he is a privilege to be able to have conversations with, because
Props to
he
him.
gives so much knowledge. Like, he can break things down so well from a business side of it. Like, he loves the arts like we all love, and that's why he fits on the Rap Cave podcast.
But he knows the other end.
But he knows the business side of it too, and that's just so fascinating to me to be able to break that down. So shout out to him.
I just think it's good, and him, having audio, like shout out to another platform that really champions the artist. Like, you know what I mean? Is like that's the thing, is like you don't get that a lot these days. You have that with like Bandcamp maybe. But like, you know, to the fact that there's people out there who are still trying to make it so the artist gets to shine rather than the corporation.
Dude,
love that.
Honestly, follow him on Twitter because he gives $1 million worth of games. Shout out to the boys that run that podcast too, because that's a great podcast. But like Brian Z literally gives $1 million worth of games. So check out those two conversations and this episode. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe. We got a whole bunch of dope things coming for the Rap Cave podcast. I'm excited to deliver them all to you. My name is Chris Platte, a.k.a. Platte Pods. What a great crew. Bryce, flying everywhere. Nice. Zay.
Nigga, look at this fucking chain, bro. This is crazy as shit.
Damn, that shit clean as fuck, bro. That shit kind of small, don't you think? No, I'm playing.
Chill, bro. You know that.
And that big AP on the ones and twos. On the ones and twos, you're gonna see us next week with a whole bunch of big change. Shout out to Zay.
Not me.
Shout out to Zay. Everybody have a good, safe, fun weekend. Peace out.